Now let's look at some other news from the UK. Look at the antics of this Starbucks worker who absolutely loses it after being allegedly misgendered.
Absolutely not. Don't ever call me transphobic. Ever. You do not know me.
You're being transphobic, Karen. Get out.
Not call me transphobic.
You are transphobic. Now get out.
I want a refund.
You're not having one. Go to the police. Hi, get out.
Absolutely.
You are trespassing now.
They've got cameras.
You are trespassing.
We've
Get
got
out.
cameras.
Get out. You are trespassing.
Apparently, we said something transphobic.
You actually, you
Oh, that is assaulting the person taking that video. Not very ladylike at all, Esther.
Not very ladylike at all. It's incredible, isn't it? I'm hoping the Starbucks management sees this video and takes disciplinary action against that clearly mentally unwell, very rude and hostile employee. Now, thankfully, this is an isolated incident, and thankfully, there are very few people of that ilk that believe that they have a right to be gendered properly and to smash people's phones and to abuse them by calling customers Karens. But it's clear that there are many people like this who are mentally ill, who are exceptionally entitled, and there is a section of this really ultra left-wing gender ideology and the adherents of this ideology that do feel entitled to behave in this way. Thankfully, it's not many. It's very much in the minority, but we have to be aware of that because this is completely unacceptable behavior and certainly not ladylike.
No. And finally, I want to get your thoughts on what's happening in California. They're moving towards passing a reparations bill that would see some black residents get a massive windfall and an apology. So we're going to have here a situation where people who were never slaves get money from people who never owned slaves, and that's somehow considered racial justice, Esther.
Well, it's completely preposterous and it's absurd. And the people that push this sort of narrative are really just trying to make a name for themselves because they know that people will tiptoe around them to try and be sensitive. But the reality is they're not going to get reparations. At least I suspect not. I think the logistics around that in and of itself is so complicated. What happens to mixed race residents? Do some of them pay? Do some of them receive payments? I mean, it's completely unworkable and it's ludicrous. And it does beg the question, why should people that were never slaves or slavers pay people that were never slaves and whose parents or grandparents were never slaves, and they can't even remember the time where slavery was sort of that widespread in society. So it's a completely unworkable situation, and it's just for politicians mainly, to make names for themselves.
Well, this is California for you. It's Democrat heartland, and it might seem crazy, but they will try to do it. Esther, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Always a pleasure to speak with you.